And this is the moment that we all have been waiting for. And to bring to you the culinary show, we have with us Chef Giovanni Vito. Chef Giovanni Vito is a multi-award winner, chef lecturer from Europe. Giovanni has always been heavily involved in competition work, winning the Young Chef of Great Britain, East Midlands Chef of the Year for 3 consecutive years, and being a finalist in the National Chef of the Year competition in 1991. So he's got great achievements to his record. He has also been awarded numerous medals in salons throughout the UK and Europe. In 2014, the British Culinary Federation honored Giovanni with the award of Louis Cipolla Award for Outstanding Contribution to Education. Giovanni has always been very keen to have students benefit from his wealth of knowledge and experience, and it is with this motivation that got him into teaching in the year 1995. As he is driven by the need to maintain the highest levels of technical expertise required by chefs in the industry. So here's a chance for you all to meet and talk to the Europe's most celebrated chef with a huge round of applause for Giovanni Vito.
Hello Mumbai. Come and sit down. We've got a quick show to do today. All my colleagues here have all run late, means I'm going to be cut down to 20 minutes of my time. Don't worry, we'll see what we can do. Okay, is anybody from Dumbussa School? Do you all know who this chef is? Come on here, chef. This is what inspires you to be a chef. Okay, Keith's going to help me out this morning. He's been with me all day. What I'm going to do, we're going to keep it really relaxed today. So no talking. We let all the others do the talking. We talked about being, precision, motivation, everything else that the guys have talked about. You don't need me to talk about that. We're in a hurry. I'm going to cook 3 dishes for you today. I wanted to choose something that would be pretty straightforward to do, but maybe teach you a few technical skills, something you would learn in a fine dining end of hotels and restaurants all around the world. And everything we do, again, I'm from UCB in Birmingham, everything we teach our students is at the top level. We don't let any substandards, everything has to be exact and precise, and that's what you'll see today. Just a few tips. What I'm going to be doing today is pasta. I'm going to show you to make fresh pasta dough. We're going to make a vegetarian filling with some wild mushrooms. We're going to use, I don't know if you know about wild mushrooms, we're going to use some girolles, some white oyster mushrooms, some yellow oyster mushrooms, some champignon de Paris. I'm going to toss them off quickly. We're going to add some shallots, finely chopped shallots, and a herb called tarragon. Have you heard of tarragon? Yeah, tarragon, nice and aniseed flavour in there. And I'm going to mix that with a little bit of Parmesan cheese and finish it with a little sherry vinegar in there just to spice it up. I'll let that cool down and then I'll make the pasta. I've got a pasta machine. I think you've seen these before over here. Well, I bet you have, because I saw it on television last night and I was really surprised. But we'll do the pasta. I'll make some tagliatelle from it, and then from that we'll make some ravioli and hopefully some tortellini. Tortellini is a pasta dish. I'm from Italy originally, but I'm in Birmingham now. Tortellini is a filled pasta, and it's in the shape of a belly button. Now, this pasta originates from a place in Italy called Bologna, and the reason they call it the belly button pasta is because there was a priest many years ago, and he was peeping through the keyhole of Venus, this beautiful lady, and all he could see through the keyhole was his belly button. So he invented this shaped pasta for her, and that's what I'm going to show you today. And I'll mix them up with a couple of quick sauces, and maybe have a couple of you come up and try them in a minute, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to start. I don't know if you can see on the screen, if you want to pan down to these mushrooms. These are just some of the mushrooms we use on the continent. Here they are, the champignon de Paris, the yellow oysters, the grey oysters, the chanterelles, and we got some from China here, gnocchi, which we finely chopped. And because we haven't got much time, I've got some already done here. So again, precision cookery. We like to chop them nice and fine because they've got to fit into the ravioli. Okay, and we'll mix them all together. Wild mushrooms, when you get them nice and fresh, we just brush them with a brush, and then use them straight from there. But my mother taught me, wash everything, okay? So we know that mushrooms contain about 80-90% water, so we don't leave them in water, but I need to wash them. So what I do is get a bowl of water, I take the mushrooms, just swill them in the water, lift them out and dry them out, and then I can cut them and they stay nice and dry and fresh. And these are really cold, they've been in the fridge, so beautiful. So there's my mushrooms. To start with then, what we're going to make is this. This is a pasta dough, okay? And I'll just quickly show you how to do that first. We have a bowl of flour, 00 fine Italian flour. This has been milled twice, so it's really fine, and it's got a better gluten content in it, so it holds well. It works really well. What I'm going to do to that is I'm going to add, and the other thing about working with pasta, a little tip I've learnt is, my family in Italy, they do everything on a table, but it gets really messy, so we just use a little end of a wooden spoon, make a hole, got 3 eggs in there, whole eggs, okay? And on top of there, I'm going to put 4 egg yolks. Seems a lot of eggs. Okay, come forward. Okay, and then to the eggs, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon of olive oil. This allows for the elasticity and it allows it to stretch a bit better. Okay, in there goes just a pinch of salt. Inside the centre, okay, I'll keep that on the front. And then what I like to use is saffron, some nice saffron strands in there. And this is going to give that lovely yellow colour that we've got to the pasta. And I'm going to get the spoon back in there and then just gently mix the eggs. Can you all see? I want to know, out of all the chefs here, why I'm the only one cooking. Make some noise, please. Don't let me do all the talking. Okay, so look, we're going to mix it nicely, incorporate the flour. Yeah, I wish I had a bit more time, but it's coming together nicely now. Okay, so we work that. Okay, and see it becoming nice and dry. What happens then? That then gets tipped out onto the table. It gets tipped out on the table and then it's going to be worked. But I'm not going to do that now. Save a bit of time if you take that. So this is what I've got from there. And I'm going to use, to roll the flour, the pasta out, I like to use a semolina. So fine dust in a semolina. If I use flour to roll it out, what will happen is the dough will incorporate more flour and become stodgy and dodgy. And tough to eat. We don't want that. The semolina stops it from sticking and it helps it work better. So as you can see, the dough now is a lovely colour. And just work it a bit. This we made earlier. You can't make it and roll it straight away because of the gluten content and it goes really tough. So it needs to be left in the fridge for at least 1 hour. And then what I'm going to do is take some of the dough, like so. Okay, looks amazing, doesn't it, there? That's the saffron giving it that lovely colour. And then I'm going to use this machine here, which I think you've all seen, haven't you? Pasta machine. What we do, the pasta machine works like the old mangle where you put my mother used to have a washing and she'd put it through one of these and spin it. Have you all seen one of them? Yes. Making me feel old now. Okay, so we get this dough, which is nice and supple, look. And what I'm going to do is then just start feeding it through the pasta machine to try and get this nice thin, this nice thin dough. And it's on the widest setting. Just let it come through first. Okay. That's it. What I want to do is work the dough just a little bit, not too much. So we got it nice and get it going through the machine nicely. Okay. And now we can start again. You'll see it coming through much easier now. And as we work it, the dough will become a lot more silkier. I'm going to turn it round 45 degrees. Yeah. So you see the dough being worked now. Wow, technology, eh? Been going on about technology all day. Okay. You need skills. Rolling pin. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is take it down one notch. And then, you see the pasta now, we start to get it thinner and thinner. Every time we roll it through, we go down a notch. Keith, you might have to help me now. If you just grab it, sir. Just grab the dough. Okay, that's it. That's fantastic, look. Okay, so let it go fast. Not yet, no. It doesn't need the flour. We don't want to change the consistency. So, and then we can go again. One more, down to the last setting. Okay.
Where's this going?
In the hole, Keith, come on. There we go, sir. That's it. Okay, lovely. That's going nicely through there. And we've got that pasta now.
It's lovely.
Lovely. Beautiful, isn't he? Okay. He's the only guy I've seen smiling all day. Okay. So I've got this nice line of pasta now, which we'll put on the table. Keith, would you just cover that with cling film so it stops it drying out? Okay. Now, while that's on, I'm going to make the filling quickly. And what I'm going to use now is fry off these mushrooms quickly in a nice hot pan. Excuse me, did anybody remember where the fire escape was? Joke. Just cover it over the top, yeah. That's it. Where's Dexter? Dexter can help us do this. That's it, go down. Lovely, just cover it like that, stops it drying out. Okay, so I want the olive oil now. So a little bit of oil in the pan. This is so quick, so simple, but I wanted to share it with you because the flavours that come, simple flavours, we work on just simple flavours, but good ingredients, and let them speak for themselves. Okay, so you've got them in the pan there. And what we need to hear is that lovely little sizzle. Okay, so those are on there. Can you hear them? A little bit of salt, not too much in there. And then what I've got is the tarragon. Can you all see the tarragon? You see the tarragon, yeah? What we do is we strip the leaves and we just hold the stem, pull it downwards, and there we've got the nice bark. Now those barks, you can use them as a skewer to skewer some king prawns or something before putting them on the grill. Adds a lot of flavour. But I'm going to just put a couple of them just in with the mushrooms just to give a little bit of extra flavour. Okay. And again, work them quickly. I can turn that up please now. Oh, no, not yet, to about 800. Okay, 800, yeah. Okay, so there we've got that one. Right, the mushrooms are on. Now keep that there, please. Right, this needs to go up again. Right, so here's the pasta now. What I'm going to do is use the first bit. We'll use this knife. And I'm going to cut some couple of strips there of tagliatelle. Keith, I think I'm going to roll a bit more out as well. We'll let them dry out, them ones. Yeah, we will. Okay, I'm going to put that down. I'm just going to roll quickly while those are frying. I'd like to do some more pasta on the machine for the raviolis. Now this dough, instead of adding saffron, you can add cooked down spinach, pureed, add that to the flour and make a green spinach one. You can add tomato concentrate, make a tomato one. I even add chocolate powder to the flour and make a chocolate pasta dough, which you can use as a savoury with the same filling if you're using it with some game meats, if you know, some pheasants or some venisons or things like that. Or you can have it with a sweet filling as well and serve it with a syrup sauce. Okay, so go away. Let's go. That's it. You hold it. Watch your hand on the knife. Okay, take it down one quickly. My daughter loves making this at home. It's very therapeutic, but she makes a little bit more mess than me. We got any girls in the kitchens? Don't we get girls in the kitchens over here? You know, I've worked in kitchens in London, the Savoys, the Dorchester, the Ritz, in France, Switzerland, Italy, and all the kitchens I worked in, I've always employed female chefs, because the female chefs tend to be the most hygienic and clean. They put everything nice and orderly in the fridges for me. This again.
I think you should see that in the pan.
It's okay. Yeah. We'll take it down. One more. Last one. Okay. So lovely. So here you see now the mushrooms have been sautéed off with that tarragon stalk. Okay. And I'm just going to tip those out now into a bowl and we'll let them cool down. And in the same pan, I'm going to use the same pan because we've got the sediment from the mushrooms. So what we do in a classical cooking, we reduce to intensify all the flavours. So that goes back on with just a drop more oil now. Not too much. And in there, I can put some shallots or finely chopped onions. Okay. In there, I'd like to just grate a touch of garlic. However, it doesn't really need it. It's just a touch. Okay. Can you smell anything from over there yet? You can. Ooh. What can you smell? Okay, so fantastic. So we've got these finely chopped shallots. Again, the chefs are trained to cut vegetables. Like they said, the chef earlier said it took him 8 months just prepping vegetables. He's right what he says. But you have to get everything to perfection if you're going to work top end. Now, top end's not for everybody, but what we teach is the initial stages, and then the world of work then hopefully takes you on to that next step further. So what I've got there is the shallots cooking down with a touch of garlic. What I'm going to add there now is just a drop of vegetable stock. And just cooks that down nicely. Okay, when that's nice and dry, which you'll see it is now, I've removed the tarragon stalks. We don't want this mixture wet, we want it quite dry, but if you can see in there, a good shot, you can see all the juices caramelizing down, all that flavor from the mushrooms, from the garlic, from the shallots, intensifying, getting plenty of body into that filling, because it's a filling which is going to make the dish. Okay, that's nicely reduced now. I pop back in the mushrooms, which look, by cooking them quickly, you get no water coming out. Okay, mix that all in. Right, now to that, I've already chopped some tarragon, some fresh tarragon to go in there. Not too much. I'll put that back in here just. Okay, and then I'm going to grate. You got the grater? Yeah. Some fresh parmesan in there, and that's going to help keep everything together. Right, so plenty of parmesan in there. Sorry. You can do what? Okay. Now in there, just to heat through, And then I want just a splash of sherry vinegar. We use vinegar as like salt and pepper really, just a splash, not to taste vinegary, but it just gives a nice balance, the acidity in there. So I'll let that dry off now. You see that? Just quickly, okay. So we can pop these away for a minute. Right, so Keith, can you do me a favour, Keith? Can you put that now in that pan, in that bowl, sorry, out the way. And what I want to get on this pan, I want to get another pan on with a quick, was there another pan here? Where's that other saucepan? I'm looking for a saucepan. I had another saucepan here somewhere. What I'm going to do, so no, that's the plan. Right, you're going to do the same sauce, so it's okay. Right, what we do now, so again, try and just keep stirring that to cool it down, Keith. What I'm going to do now, that's no too small. Again, back in the pan now, I've got some vegetable stock. This is going to be a sauce. There are lots of things going on at the minute, so you just bear with me. And then what I'm going to do is also, from Italy, we have these dried mushrooms called porcini mushrooms. Has anybody heard of porcini? Yeah, and they come in a dried form, but they're beautiful flavour, beautiful strong flavour. And what I'm going to do is reconstitute them in a little bit of vegetable stock. I don't need many because they're quite strong. So in here about 15 grams, maybe a bit less. Right, again, just for intense flavour. Let that cook down while I'm going to make the pasta. Are you good? Right, let's keep going. So that's in there. Normally at this stage, I'd add some white wine in there, dry white wine, but I'm going to leave that out today if that's okay with you, yeah? So maybe you'd like to come and taste. I'm not sure if you're over age. All right, so that's simmering down here. On the side here, I've got the water boiling to cook the pasta. I'm going to put salt in there. As a rule, what we put is about 2 litres of water to 22 grams of salt. And what this can taste a little bit salty, but we don't put any salt in the pasta dough, just very little, and the salt brings out the flavour. What you find is a lot of people cook pasta and they don't cook it with enough salt, so it's very bland. If you try and add salt and pepper after, you waste the time. So plenty of salt in the cooking process. All right, so that's reducing now. If you just keep an eye on that for me. That's all right. Okay, so going back to the pasta now. You'll see this has dried up a little bit. It's beautiful colour. I've got this attachment on the machine, which will just change the handle. You've got the camera on this one. You're on the wrong side, aren't you? Okay, what we've got now is we put it through, look. Hey presto, look at that. Tagliatelle. Hey. Yeah. Okay, you do that, yeah? Okay. Ravioli, next one. So Keith's doing that one now. I'm going to use the other sheet of pasta now to do the ravioli. And again, it's getting a little bit, just a bit warm here now. It's just getting a little bit warm on this table with the lights. So there we go, we'll use that semolina. Okay, and this one I want to take down a bit more. Okay, we'll take this down again. So we've got enough to do the whole lot in one go. Is that all right? Nice and fine. Okay. And what happens when you roll the pasta, it contracts again. So I like to roll it one more time on the finest setting just to get it really wafer thin, because we don't want to be eating thick, stodgy pasta. Thank you. Again, we'll put a little bit of dough on the bottom. Okay, could you just watch that pan? Right, so in this pan now, that's reduced nicely. Can you smell that, Keith?
Yes.
Beautiful and strong. I'm going to take a little bit more stock in there because we're going to use this to make a sauce. Okay, that's on now. And then what I'm going to add to that now is some cream. It's thick cream, yeah. A bit of cream. Yeah. So, not for the healthy. Okay, and that's just going to come down nice. Can you give it a wipe as well?
Pardon?
Can you just give everything a wipe? Yeah. Okay. Right, so let's go into the ravioli. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a cutter. We take just some cuts. I'm going to make 3 for this dish. And then we need some a little bit bigger. 1. 2, 3 as a guide. Okay, Keith, can you cover the top one again for me? Right, it'll be all right. Now, what I've got is a piping bag. This is pressure. You want to get in the kitchen, this is pressure. It was interesting to hear some of the speakers earlier about everybody being managers. But if you've got nobody working and delivering the products, you've got nothing to manage about. So we need students, new blood coming in at all levels, so that make the hospitality industry, go from where it is now to taking it to a further stage. I've been cooking now for about 32 years, and I started at catering college, just like many of you. We did a 2-year program there, and then from there, I found, again, I went to a grammar school, but I didn't do really good at school, and like the other guys said, their parents, chefing was very frowned upon. It wasn't good enough. I was from a family of 8, and I was the only one who went to a grammar school. And my father, he's from Italy. He was a farmer by profession, and he came to England, and he said, "What are you going to do, son?" And I said, "I want to be a civil engineer," but I didn't want to go to university. Then he said, "Well, what else are you going to do?" So I said, "I want to fly airplanes, be an air traffic controller." You had to go to university. So I was at school, and it was careers, and they said, "Well, why don't you go into the hospitality industry?" And again, I said, "Nothing. I don't know nothing about it." It says, "Was a college by you? Why don't you have a go?" So I enrolled on the program, and I found I was doing, I was cooking every day. I thought that was bizarre. I was cooking every day. So I ended up being a chef. So time to leave college. Aim high, believe in yourselves, and aim high. And that's what I did. And I went to go to the best hotel in England, which at that time was the Savoy Hotel. It had 120 chefs. And then from there I went to the Dorchester and the Ritz Hotel. And then when you meet people in industry, as you meet people in industry, you follow where they go. So then I went abroad to Italy, France, Switzerland, Germany. I ended up cooking for the England football team. Again, like you heard in the profile at the beginning, I've done lots of chefs, lots of competitions all over. So I found it something I really enjoyed. And 32 years on, I still get excited today. All my students say, "Chef, why do you get so excited?" I said, "Well, you've got to have this passion, which these guys were talking about earlier. The passion is what drives you." And here I am today. Last week, will you come to Mumbai, do a little demonstration? Love it. And it's a lovely place, isn't it? I love Mumbai. I just haven't seen enough, and I'm going home on Friday. Will you invite me back? Yes. No, it's great. It's a great career. So I'm just doing this quickly. What I'm doing now is just brushing the outsides with a little bit of water, not too much. And then what we do is fill over the top, and I want to take all the air out because I don't want no bubbles, because if they have any bubbles in there, what happens is as it hits the boiling water, it'll burst. Okay? So this comes on C like this, and I want to make it nice for you. And then when I get, it's a little cutter like so, and then we cut it right in the middle, like that. And there we have ravioli. You're such a great crowd. So we're all going to take the next 777-300 to England. You're not coming? Anybody want to come? I tell you what, if you guys, all you guys now at college, are as good as this man here, right? And I had a restaurant, I'd take you home and employ you today. He is fantastic. And so is Dexter in the back. And that's what's lovely about this trade is one opportunity, you take it and it takes you to the next place. And like, you know, like they've all said this morning, who knows where you'll be in 10 years' time, whether you'll still be in the trade. If you're anything like me, you know, you'll be like a dinosaur. So, who's going to win the selfie today? Yeah. Right, I'm going to ask a question. Does anybody want to taste this food? Well, I'm only making 3. That's 824, can't have one. Okay, so there's the ravioli. Have you been that for me? Okay, there's the ravioli. And the next one is these little belly buttons that this priest found out about when he was peeping through that keyhole he shouldn't have been looking at. Okay, so the tortellini now. I'm going to use a slightly larger cutter. And these are straightforward. So what I've done is I've rolled it out, let the dough rest, so it shouldn't shrink too much now. And again, we'll cut these out first, like so. I could do with a bigger one. You know my bag in the back? There's a small cutter. Get a bigger one. No, it's all right. I'll use these. This is fine. This is fine, Keith. Right, so again, I'll make about 6 of these. Is there any questions? It's all right. 3, 6. Right. If we had more time, I wanted a couple of you to come up and have a go. I don't think we've got the time though. So now we're going to make these little tortellinis, look. Pipe a little bit of mixture in there. It's all right, I've done it now. Get the bigger one out, please. Yeah. Okay, that one. That's it, drop them down now. Okay, I'll make a couple of bigger ones. Might be easier to see. When you make a bigger one, it's known as a tortellone. And when you make the little ones, they're tortellini. So all these little words you start listening to and using them when you work in the different areas of hospitality. I'm sure your celebrity chef, he's worked all abroad, and all the terms I'm using today, he can relate to, just like he was back over where he was working prior to coming here, back here. So now, again, not too much water, very little. It should stick themselves. Keith, you want to come and have a go? Do you want to come and have a go? I'll show you what to do. I believe every time you wake up in the morning, you need to learn something. If you've gone to bed at night without learning anything in that day, you might as well not have got up. And that's what I tell my students. One thing every day, at least. So fold these in half. Where's the camera? Are you there? Yeah? Right. What I'm going to do now is just pull them over. Just press it nicely. Pull it over and then stick the ends. And this is how we have those little belly buttons that priest found. I'll make some more. Do you want to do it? Do you want to have a go? Just make sure there's a bit of water to stick, yeah? Fold it in half, Keith. Tuck it in. Seal it nicely. It's fantastic. Right, okay, like that. Hold it like so in 2 fingers. This way up. Them 2 fingers.
This way?
This one like that. Up. Up. Push that forward. Yeah, and then pull these 2 under the finger and squeeze them in like that. There are. Round of applause for Keith there. All right, so make them quickly. Okay, they're nice, see? Yeah. They're a bit fiddly, but a nice little technique to do. And you can use this as a pasta dish, or you can use them to garnish. Okay. Do they look like belly buttons to you? Yes. Right, we're going to cook them now, yeah? Okay, so Keith, you clear up for me. Get rid of all the pasta, all the bowls, everything. Yeah. All the cream, everything. Okay.
One sauce only?
Huh? Yeah. Right, the one sauce is ready. So I've got the pasta now, look. I'm going to do the ravioli first. I'm going to just put them in a pan of boiling water. Nice, be all right. Just for 1 minute, 2 minutes to cook. See them there? And then the sauce here, what we've got here is a sauce which I'm going to taste, have a little taste. That's so good. Okay, and then I need a spoon. We use a lot of butter in classical cookery. What I'm going to just add is a little bit of butter to the sauce. Okay, and that's going to enrichen it, lighten it. Okay, that's there. Pasta's nearly ready. Get the first plate up. Okay. While that's on, I'm going to put another pan on now, and again, a little bit of butter. Can you keep up? Are you keeping up with me? Yeah. All right. Wrong pan. Okay.
You have to use that pan only.
Do this one.
Yeah.
Can't. Okay, so not to worry. What I'm going to do is strainer.
Strainers.
I'm going to pass this sauce through a strainer. You give that a mushroom bowl. Yep. Okay, we pop that there. That can go underneath. Then I'll get a clean cloth here. I'm just going to, again, wipe that free. Wipe that free. Nice and clean. Okay. Get the butter back in. Okay, butter on. It's got to go on. Butter on. And then in there, what I've got here is some washed, picked spinach. What we take the stalks out, wash it, dry it well, and then we just quickly cook the spinach in a little bit of butter, just to wilt it down. We don't want to boil it, because that'll take all the nutrients away. Okay. And that can be seasoned with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and if you've got it, some nice grated nutmeg. Okay. These raviolis are good. I'm going now, don't worry. Yeah, yeah. Right. That's it. Get one plate up first. Okay, one plate up for them. It's all right. I've got a man talking in my ear. I've got 5 minutes to get 3 dishes out. We'll do it. So, the first Tortellini, I'm going to come out and drain them. Okay, while they're draining, we'll get the tortellini in straight away. It's all right. Spinach, look, it's nearly cooked. Just wilted nicely. We don't want to cook it to death. Okay, just hold that there. Right, ravioli, could do that higher. Touch more water. Okay, and then see the tagliatelle we've got as well. I'm going to just put them in a second. Okay, the sauce now. Final check. Right, it's nice. And clean spoon. So these dishes we can do very quickly now. Just on the plate. Ravioli, just sitting. Let's have a look. You can see the spinach. Okay, and just have. Okay. Right. Just a little bit of the sauce to go with it. There we go. So there's your dish number one. Number two now is, I promise, coming up very, very shortly. What I'm going to do is just a little bit of chopping. I need, what I need is a little bowl.
Bowl?
And
Bowl?
yeah, it's okay.
There's a bowl.
Yeah. Big one, bigger dish. It's all right. I'm going to do it here. Are you all still awake? Give me some support. What I've got here now, I'm going to finish this dish quickly with some tomato, black olives, a bit of chopped parsley, and again, chuttarang, a bit of lemon. Watch it all come together. So the olives, we just cut them down into quarters.
Well, this seems to be the finishing touch.
The touches are coming up, yeah.
Chef Giovanni. Can we have a huge round of applause for him? Because he's prepared such a fantastic dish. May I request Mr. Pravjot Bedi to kindly join us on stage. And he's the next speaker, by the way. So I'd like him to come on stage and in the meanwhile just get a taste of the food as well.
Yeah.
And so requesting Mr. Pravjot Bedi, if you could just join us on stage. Mr. Pravjot is a passionate individual who has always been in the hospitality industry for more than 18 years. Pravjot is a name reckoned with the industry. Pravjot is a graduate from IIHM Aurangabad and has earned a degree from the University of Huddersfield in the process, and towards the latter part of his career, completed general management education from IIM Bangalore. His work experience started with the Taj Group of Hotels, and a decade later, Pravjot started his own hospitality consulting firm called Eclat Hospitality. With a huge round of applause, can we please have on stage Mr. Pravjot Bedi.
Coming out now. Can you drain it on there for me? Put it on there.
I'd actually like you to join us at the table and just...
I'm not going to do that. Let them taste it out.
I'm going to put some olive oil. So I've got some black olives, some tomatoes which have been skinned and seeded, a little bit of olive oil, black olives, a little bit of lemon zest, and some chopped tarragon in there. Right. And this is another quick dish.
To taste. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
But let them go into the crowd and have them taste it.
Okay. look at presentation. And then just quickly, touch of salt in there. Then look, just put these colours. How does that look? You got the camera on there? That looks nice, does it? Not bad. And I'm going to finish that last one for you. It's 2 seconds. Watch this. 2 seconds in there. I've got to do it. I've come all the way to Mumbai. I'm not going just for one pasta. Okay. Let's come straight up. There we go. Again, quick pan. All right. Pan goes in. All these can come off out the way. Out the way. This is cooked now. 2 seconds. And then we want to drain. Okay.
So we're done with 2 dishes. We've got just the last one to go. And that too, it's the last few seconds of the spaghetti as well.
We're on MasterChef here. Ready, steady, cook. There you are. Look. This one here. All I'm going to do with this one is just quick. We just need some lovely, good quality olive oil. Drizzle it.
Start the countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, 8.
Yeah. Okay. Bit of sherry vinegar. Do you want to start a countdown from 10?
Students, can we please have a huge round of applause for Chef Giovanni Vito.
Thank you. And for VJ, for Keith as well. One big one for Keith, please, and Dosa School.